फ्रेंड्स, नेचर में हमने देखा है बहुत से टाइप्स ऑफ फ्लूइड। कोई फास्ट मूव करता है, कोई स्लो, जैसे कि वाटर है, हनी है, ऑयल है। आज हम फ्लूइड्स की टाइप्स के बारे में पढ़ेंगे। फर्स्ट है आइडियल फ्लूइड। हेयर ओनली प्रेशर फोर्स एग्जिस्ट whether the fluid is in motion or at rest. In ideal fluid, shear force does not exist. Ideal fluid is incompressible fluid in which density is constant. In viscid fluid, there is no viscosity, but all the existing fluid have some viscosity. So ideal fluid is just an imaginary fluid. So the real fluid is the one which have shear stress and have some viscosity. It has two types, Newtonian fluid and non-Newtonian fluid. Newtonian fluid in which the shear stress is directly proportional to the rate of the shear strain, and non-Newtonian fluid in which shear stress is not directly proportional to the rate of the shear strain. It does not obey the Newton's law of viscosity. Then we have ideal plastic fluid. This is a fluid after reaching a yield value of the shear stress, the fluid begins to flow. The fluid begins to flow such that the relationship between the shear stress and the velocity gradient is not linear. It is time independent. And then we have thixotropic fluid. This is a fluid in which after reaching a yield value of the shear stress, the fluid begins to flow. The fluid flows such that the relationship between the shear stress and the velocity gradient is not linear. Sorry, in case of ideal plastic, the relation is linear, but here the velocity is not linear. We have a graph between the shear stress and the velocity gradient, that is the rate of the shear strain. The first one is the Newtonian fluid. Here the relation is linear because it obeys the Newton's law of viscosity. Second one is the non-Newtonian fluid, which does not obey Newton's law of viscosity, so the graph is like curved, but it starts from the point 0. Ideal plastic fluid starts from when it reaches the value of the yield stress. Ideal plastic, which is time independent, and thixotropic, which dependent on the time. We have some examples of the thixotropic fluid like crude oil, we have bentonite fluid, and another time independent and time dependent fluids are like pseudoplastic fluid are time independent, dilamant fluid are time independent, ultra fine particles, ideal plastic fluid or Bingham's fluid are all time independent. Time dependent fluid are thixotropic fluid and the rheopactic fluid. Thanks friend.